Hey guys, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina with another live stream fishing show. We're here to talk all about deep sea fishing, near shore, offshore fishing. We're going to get started here shortly. Hey guys, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina with another Sunday night live stream fishing show. Hopefully you guys are ready for another great show. We've got a good one lined up for you tonight. We've got some awesome photos. Our 39-hour fishing trip was out there this weekend. They came back in this morning with a huge pile of fish. So we're going to be talking a lot about that 39-hour fishing trip that came in this morning. We're going to be showing you some photos of our catches from this week. We're going to be talking about a special hogfish trip coming up this Tuesday with Captain Frank. And we got Frank in studio tonight. How you doing, Frank?
I'm doing great. Ready to talk about hog fishing.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about those hogfish. We're going to be talking about gags. We're going to be talking about kingfish. We've got a lot of good stuff lined up for you tonight. Plus, we've got crazy Black Friday deals. Black Friday deals so good, we might get in trouble for offering them.
Well, I won't.
They're really good Black Friday specials coming up. So definitely some exciting stuff going on tonight. Sit back, relax, and kick your feet up. We've got a great show lined up for you. Don't forget to comment where you're watching from. Let us know what town, what city, where you're at. And also, don't forget to share the video. If you're on Facebook, don't forget to share the video with your friends on your timeline. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And we're getting real close to 5,000 subscribers. Would love to break that sometime soon. So make sure you subscribe to Hubbard's Marina on YouTube if you haven't already. Make sure you like our video. If you're on Facebook, share it with your timeline. Share it with your favorite fishing club. We're going to get started here very shortly. We just need a few minutes to get set up here. And hopefully you're ready for a great show. Don't forget, in order to win free fishing trips, you do have to comment on the Hubbard's Marina Facebook video. That's going to facebook.com. Then once you're on facebook.com, search for the Hubbard's Marina page. You'll find our logo. And then once on our page, look at that live video and just comment one time. It's that simple. So we'll show you that real quick. So let's navigate here. So you're going to go to facebook.com. Once you're there, type in Hubbard's Marina. Once you're at the search page, you'll see our logo, Hubbard's Marina. Once you find that page, you just click Hubbard's Marina. You'll scroll down and you can see right there the video is live. Off to the left you'll see it, or just scroll down to where you see the live video and then type in one comment. All you need is one comment. That gets you entered to win free fishing trips. It's that easy, guys. We're going to get started here shortly. We're going to give you guys time to share this video with your friends and get entered to win free trips. Because if you're watching on YouTube, you can watch on YouTube all you want, but you do have to comment on that Hubbard's Marina Facebook video at least one time. So make sure, if you're watching on YouTube, to pop over to Facebook and comment at least one time on that video to get entered to win. So, you almost ready, Frank?
I'm ready. I've been ready.
You're born ready?
I'm born ready.
Yes, sir. We're almost there, guys. Just bear with us another few minutes. Don't forget, again, we got our Friday morning show on Fox 13. Hopefully you guys are able to join us for that Fox 13 show every Friday morning at 8:15 a.m. Always a good time hanging out with the good people at Fox 13, talking to Russell Rhodes and Charlie Belcher and Dave Austenberg and all the other great people at Fox 13. So tune in Friday mornings, Fox 13 News. If you're not local, you can always find it by just going to their website, Googling Fox 13 News Tampa Bay, And once you Google that, you'll be able to find their website pretty easily. And on their website, you can watch the news live as well. So it makes it real easy for you to find that Friday morning live show, because we talk all about fishing. And then make sure you're tuned in to our newsletter. If you're not signed up for our newsletter, we got some really, really good info coming up in our Friday newsletters. So you want to make sure you're signed up for our newsletter. In order to sign up for our newsletter, it's real simple. Just go to hubbardsmarina.com. Once you're on our brand new, newly designed website, scroll down a little ways, and you'll find the Hubbard's Marina newsletter. You can enter your email and sign up right there. You can read our latest fishing reports or watch the latest live stream show right there. So some pretty cool new stuff on the website. If you haven't checked it out yet, highly recommend it. We spent a lot of time on that.
Yeah, it's really nice. And if anything, you get a free trip on your birthday if you're in the newsletter, right?
Oh yeah, you do get free trips on your birthday.
That's reason for it right there.
Yeah, I mean you're letting cats out of the bag here, man.
Oh, is I not supposed to say that?
No.
Well, it's good for the viewers that we have right now. They got a little treat. How about that?
If you go to our website under info, you can scroll down under info and find the free birthday trip. We do offer free trips on your actual birthday. So it's got to be your actual birthday. You got to have a valid photo ID. If it's a specialty trip, 12 hours or longer, it's not exactly free, but you do get $90 off. So definitely some cool stuff there on the website. If you haven't checked out our website before, make sure you do that. And again, don't forget to share this video with friends, guys, because we could give away a free 39-hour fishing trip tonight. If we get up to 300 live viewers, someone's going to win a free 39-hour trip. If we're shy of 300 live viewers, you're going to get a half-price 39-hour trip. So make sure you share the video with friends, call your buddies, text everybody, tell them to get on the show, because you don't want to miss out on that opportunity to win a free 39-hour trip, because we had a great 39-hour trip this weekend, and I think we're about ready to show you how that trip went and show you some of these great photos. So I think we're ready to start. You ready?
Oh, yeah. Let's see them.
You guys ready? Hopefully you're ready, because I can't hear you. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Again, Captain Dylan Hubbard from Hubbard's Marina. We've got Captain Frank Batchelor, also from Hubbard's Marina. And tonight we're going to be talking all about nearshore and offshore fishing tips, tricks, and more. And hopefully answering some of your questions in the best way that we possibly can. So sometimes that's not so good. But
yeah.
I mean, we got really carried away with food last week.
Yeah.
Or that was the week before. Last week was Will, I guess.
Well, it was fish food, was it?
We were talking about bonita.
It was seafood. I mean,
it was relatable.
That's important, because some people, they like to fish, but they can't cook it. Trust me.
Yeah.
I've had a few. I'm like, oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Speaking of food,
I love the way you did that tilapia.
See, we're already talking about food.
Okay, yeah, we'll get off. Let's see those pictures. I want to see.
All right, let's see some pictures. So we'll start inshore, and then we're going to work our way near shore and then offshore. And we're going to talk about what's going on now. So we're going to start the show by looking at photos, talking about what's biting now, what we're catching. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the weather. And then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the show. Again, it went back to food. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I brought my fork.
All right, so the photos. So
a bluefish.
A bluefish. The bluefish are here, man.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that time of year. Those bluefish start showing up. If you are a Floridian like me, you might be scratching your head what this thing is. But if you're an East Coaster, anywhere from the Northeast all the way down to the East Coast of Florida, you know what a bluefish is. On our beautiful Gulf Coast, we don't see these guys a lot, but they show up this time of year, and that's a pretty meaty one for inshore.
Yeah, that's a nice one for sure.
They get mixed in with those mackerel sometime on the beaches. And then lately, John Sasser, the guy in this photo, has been catching a lot of them up at the Sand Key Bridge area.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Dude, was it just a freak? He's been getting multiple ones.
Yeah, he said you can hear him. You can literally hear him. He'll be out fishing at night. So he's using that white paddle tail with a quarter-ounce jig head on it, catching the crap out of trout around the Clearwater area and around John's Pass. And he said you'll hear this almost like a rumbling because it's all these bluefish rolling in, breaking on baits.
Really?
Yeah, and then they'll just come in.
I've never seen that. I've caught a few bluefish in my life here, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's been less than a dozen for sure.
I agree. I've only caught a handful of bluefin or bluefish, and it's always been totally by accident.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Never targeted them.
I've never heard of anybody saying, I'm going to go catch a bluefish today and catch one. Ever.
Well, not in our area.
Yeah, not here.
Yeah. But he's saying that it's a lot like Jack Crevalle. They'll come rolling in like Jack Crevalle, just totally white water everywhere,
Right.
and they'll hit anything you throw out.
Okay. Yeah, I do know that because we got some family in Chesapeake Bay, so
Yeah. Are they like that in the
I've caught
Northeast?
many up there.
Are they like that in
Yeah,
the
you
Northeast?
catch a lot of them.
They're like Jack Crevalle,
Yeah.
where they get the white water going?
Yeah.
Huh.
You get them with the stripers and we didn't do a lot. We did a lot of striper fishing, but we were more flounder people. But when every time we were striper fishing, we would pop a few bluefish for sure.
Got to pop a few blues.
I think in Florida though, maybe a half dozen I've caught in Florida, but I've caught 100 of them up in Virginia area.
Yeah, they caught a huge bluefish on a 44-hour full moon a few weeks back in
that right?
cold weather. Yeah. Leo Smith, that paramedic from Tampa, he caught one of the biggest bluefish I've ever seen.
Like a 10-pounder or something?
I don't know how much it would have weighed, but yeah, it looked to be at least 7-8 pounds.
Maybe I'll try to search for the picture of that.
Yeah, we could probably find it. I don't think I can find it right now,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
yeah, Eric here is a Salt Strong member, and he's got some crazy good photos this week of some nice big old redfish. His trick was working those mangrove shorelines. These fish are sunning themselves in the late afternoon, mid to late afternoon, all the way through dusk. That afternoon bite is getting a lot better because the water's so cold now that those fish are a little lethargic. Whereas in the summertime, that early morning at time is a great time to catch fish because it's nice and cool out still, and then it gets hot and the fish shut down. This time of year, the opposite is true. The morning time's not so good to catch snook, redfish, trout on the flats. The mid to late afternoon into dusk is when these fish are feeding more actively. And there are a lot of redfish out on the flats following those schools of mullet. You can pick them off real easy with some white paddle tails, with one of those mirror lures, or just cut dead bait. And also along the shallow mangrove shorelines, you can find them ready to eat as well. Another redfish from a Salt Strong member along the mangrove shorelines. Picked off a nice snook out there too from another Salt Strong member. This is right inside John's Pass. He's rocking his Hubbard's Marina sweatshirt for good luck.
That's how he got in this photo.
That product placement, dog.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, so some snooks still around the pass, but they're definitely starting to thin out a little bit. It's getting a little tougher. Mostly trout, a few pompanos starting to show up, a lot of sheep's head around the passes. And then this is the time of year for these boys. These are those triple tails. This is Brian Harris over here on the right. Brian is our new bait guy at Hubbard's Marina, and these are his two fishing partners. They have a fishing team called Team Breakfast Beer.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very professional.
That would explain all the cans in his boat.
But he does a great job. They are great fishermen. They've won a lot of tournaments this year. But long story short, the triple tail are thick around the mouth of Tampa Bay, around the beaches. Brian runs our pinfish traps, but he also has crab traps. So he actually catches all these triple tail off his traps, his buoys along the beaches. Yeah. So keep your eyes peeled right now, Frank. This is the time of year where
I'll tell you, I ran up a string of traps the other day, and I bet I ran up 20, 30 of them.
Oh,
and
wow.
I couldn't find one. Brian was telling me about every 15 traps.
You'll see one.
He's seeing them. And although those are really nice triple tails, he was telling me about how there was a few big ones that he just could not get to bite.
Oh, right.
And I've seen them out there that were just absolute monsters. But
Dude, I saw one the other day on Tampa Bay Fishing Club. It had to be 10, 12 pounds.
Yeah,
It looked deformed. It looked like a sunfish.
I'm
it was
talking
round.
like a 20-pound. I've seen them like out there that were just I can't. I'd slap you in the face if I showed you how big it was. But I saw it and I called Brian on the radio because he was coming out on the half day behind the all day.
Yeah.
And I said, Brian, you wouldn't believe it. 2 miles out there, I saw this triple tail that looked like he was 20, 30 pounds. And he's like, no way, I'm running over him right now. He's like, I'm looking at him right now. And I mean, the coincidence of that was just,
That's funny.
It had, I'm sure it was the same one. It was by 3 times as bigger than I've ever seen,
Whoa.
in our area.
The size of a trash can lid.
Yeah, it was huge, huge.
But this is the time of year for them trout, those speckled sea trout. Great time of year to go get them. Unfortunately, trout, redfish, snook, you can't keep them right now, but the trout are biting very well. So good time to be had near shore or inshore fishing. If you are into that kind of thing, or if you don't have time to get out in the boat with us all the time, it's a great time of year to fish from shore, fish from your local pier, bridge, kayak, whatever you got. Definitely a good time to get out there. But let's get into nearshore.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the trout thing anymore.
Trout.
Yeah, I just don't fish inshore anymore.
Yeah, trout, redfish, and snook are all closed right now.
Yeah, but I hear they're getting them. They're doing really well. So that's a good thing that the red tide didn't get them all. Obviously, the smart ones do leave. You do see. You might see a pile of 1,000 fish in a corner of a seawall when that red tide comes through, and you might see 5 or 6 dead snook, and you're like, no.
Wait, before you get any further, for anybody watching, we are talking about red tide.
In the past.
In the very past, yes. There is no red tide in our area.
Zero red tide.
At all. So, continue.
Okay, so, you see those 5 snook, and you're like, the red tide is getting all these snook. Man, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of snook, and it gets a few, and I don't think people understand how many snook there really are, and like just in John's Pass alone, I mean, it's got to be upwards of hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, I mean during this summer, during the early mornings, I mean, you guys saw them in a lot of our videos. We were showing you how many snook that we could just see. Imagine how many snook were top to bottom in that water column. So there was definitely a huge resurgence of snook, redfish, and trout behind that red tide that we had back in 2017 and the very tail end of 2018. We had a little bit of it too. But the fishery is being closed, whether you like it or not. It has definitely helped because they're bouncing back with a vengeance inshore. Offshore and near shore, our fishery wasn't really that affected. The only thing that was affected near shore was really that first 10 miles from shore.
Yeah, I still feel like we're having to run out 10, 12 miles to have the epic days, to have the good, really, really good days. And luckily we've been able to do it. We got boats are running great and we're able to kick it out there real easy. And, it's an extra mile or two. We've been staying late, and
burning a lot of fuel.
Well, then don't ask me later this year.
That's our daily battle.
What happened to all our fuel?
This is our daily battle.
Yeah, it's about food or gas, one of the two.
All right, so near shore fishing. This was from today's all-day trip. They had some rough weather today, man.
I feel it blowing.
It was blowing.
Well, Captain Bobby was working, so it was going to be blowing.
Well, Bobby runs Sundays, and unfortunately, lately the weather has just been almost every weekend we see this bad weather roll through. I don't know what it's been, but luckily this week it looks real nice. So we're looking forward to a great week. You got Tuesday's special hogfish trip.
We're going to do a little
Tuesday.
We'll get to talking about that in a little bit.
We're going to get to talking about that. So don't let us forget.
We'll pump them up with some hogfish pictures first.
Okay. I got you. I like the way you think.
Yeah.
So it was a rough trip today. They were fishing directly behind a front. We had a front blow through last night. Literally the worst time to fish is right behind these fronts. The best time to fish is right ahead of the front, just before it blows through. Then the front comes through, the wind gets high, the waves get high, and then after a little while, the wind and the waves calm down, and then it takes another 24 to 36 hours for the water to calm down, clear up, pressure to stabilize, and then the bite picks back up. Yeah. So typically the best time to fish is right up until the front blows through and the weather goes bad. And then once the weather goes bad, it takes 24 to 48 to 36 to even 72 hours, depending on how strong the front is, for the fishing to get back good again. So
this one was pretty minor. I think it'll pick right back up tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, they did really well out there, they did well out there for the weather today. I mean, I was expecting them to really struggle through today's 10-hour trip. And we warned those guests. We called them yesterday. We emailed them last night. I texted them again last night. Mm-hmm. We had the weather on the counter. We talked about it in the seminar. They got 5 weather warnings where we were telling them, hey, it's going to be bumpy, it's going to be windy, it's going to be cold, and we're probably not going to catch much. Luckily, they were able to prove me wrong today. They got a couple nice hogfish, a couple nice red grouper, few nice mangroves, and then a pretty decent amount of gray snapper. So I have a feeling tomorrow the fishing should be pretty much back to normal.
I think so. It was a pretty minor front, but it does matter,
it does matter.
Pressure.
It does matter. But again, like he said, and I agree, weak front. So tomorrow I think the fishing should be back to normal. And then by Tuesday, we should be getting back to the meat. That hogfish meat by chance. So we're looking forward to some great hog fishing this week. We have some great weather. And we've been catching a lot of these nice fish, man. It's been really good out there.
Check out the tail on this one. I remember this guy catching this one, and I don't know what happened to that tail. I mean, I've seen some triggerfish, eat away at like baits and whatnot, and even sometimes like a little chunk taken out of one. But something scrapped the heck out of that thing, man.
Yeah,
that tail is trashed.
He looks beat up. He looks like he's been through the ringer and back. That's a pretty nice size hogfish.
Yeah, too. He caught I think like 5 hogfish on Tuesday. That guy right there.
He seemed like he slayed him. Yeah. I know his name was Inshore King on Instagram. He was real proud of that fish. Right? Yeah, he was very happy with it and showing it off. So it was cool to see.
I'm pulling a blank on his name.
He caught 5 hogfish.
5 hogfish. Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah, it was good. Last Tuesday we had.
What was he using? Just a spinning rod or reel?
Yeah, he was. I believe he was using a spinning rod and possibly even one of those naked ball jigs. Maybe.
Naked ball jigs. Yeah. So the hogfish bite is definitely getting really, really good. It's one of those things. The hogfish bite is a little hit and miss. Even when it's good, it's like all of a sudden one day you're getting them well, next day it's a little tough. But right now they're fairly consistent. And there's another one. This is not the same fish, as you can tell by the tail being completely different. Someone was trying to tell me the other day it was the same fish. Wasn't the same fish. You can tell by the tail.
Yeah, well, we cut the tail shortly after this video. I went in there with some little scissors, and then we
and you made the photo. That design.
That's how we catch so many.
You're very artistic.
And then I put that spot in there too.
You changed the spot too. You got your paintbrush out.
That's right. Same guy, different fish.
That one I think is the biggest hogfish I've seen in a little while. I mean, he's holding it out a little bit, but it's not total straight armed.
We've been getting a few nice ones mixed in with some of those big males are with the knot on the top of their head. We're getting a few of those too. I've seen a few. I think I saw a few bigger than that.
A few bruisers.
Yeah.
That one's a nice one too.
Yeah, that one's a pretty one for sure.
Yeah. Nice mangrove snapper too. I mean, that's not a real large mangrove snapper, but hey, in nearshore waters, in shallow waters, we'll take those nice mangroves.
That's one of the good things with using those shrimp for the hogfish is we're getting more and more mangrove snappers mixed in with them, and they're because everything eats a shrimp.
Everything likes a shrimp. Mangroves, lanes, occasionally yellowtail, vermilion, gray snapper, porgies, sea bass. We get a little bit of everything when we're hog fishing. A few nice red grouper as well. Yeah. Always like one of those surprises. It seems like, and I've heard this from other captains too, near shore right now, I mean, we're catching some nice gags here and there. The gag bite isn't real crazy near shore and shallow water.
North of us.
Yeah, but what we're seeing a lot is these red grouper kind of mixed in where gags should be.
Yeah.
And it seems like I've heard that from a couple local charter captains too. They're out there fishing for gags in 60, 70, 80, 100 foot of water.
That's exactly right.
And where there should be a bunch of gags, they're pulling up a few of these fat red grouper.
And we have been getting a few gags mixed in, and I've seen a lot of butts get handed to them recently. I know that there's some gags down there, but we were getting groupers up to
and that's
34 inches red grouper we got the other it was really nice,
which is a huge red grouper. But what I was going to say is that's kind of the problem with this hogfish game is everybody's out there using spinning rods and light tackle and live shrimp for hogfish, and that's great for hogfish, and it's always fun to catch some hogfish. But if you're using 20, 30, 40 pound tests and a 4/0 hook and a live shrimp, gags like live shrimp too. And if a gag bites that spinning rod and reel with 20, 30 pound test, you got
it's over.
No shot.
Pretty much. We get the occasional one. But,
you get the occasional stupid
one. When he's on there and it's like, oh man, it's a heartbreaker. And unfortunately, there just isn't one rod that you can use all the time that does the trick for that. Every fish. Unfortunately,
he hasn't fished with the bull bay rods yet that we have. Okay. We'll change his mind eventually.
To each their own.
I mean, the spinning rod has definitely got its place, but I mean, in my opinion, with one of those really high-end custom rods like we have now, those bull bay rods with a really nice reel, like one of those 2-speed Saltigos, you've got the drag and the power to handle a 20-pound gag.
I just feel like
but you've got the sensitivity for the hogfish.
They're so strong that like the hooks bend out, and it's like they're making them so incredible, the rods and reels now, that it's like it's almost like we need to come up with some kind of hook that can withstand it.
Yeah, and that comes down to your drag too. I mean, what I a lot of times will do is I'll fish with it in high speed, and I'll fish with like a 65-70% drag. And then when I hook the fish, start cranking, my rod bends over, I'm not gaining line, then I'll put it into low gear, I'll slam that drag into full, I'll get the fish up off the bottom, and then as soon as I get 2 or 3, 4 good cranks in there, and I know he's 10, 15, 20 feet off the bottom, I'll back the drag back off, I'll put it back into high speed, and then finesse him. And that's what you got to remember to do.
It's like that is the perfect theory. I mean, that is exactly
in a perfect world.
The way Dylan explained it. But it's like, it's when you're sitting there for 10, 15 minutes and the bites, maybe it's not popping off, and then you're like reaching for your beer or your soda or whatever it may be. And then wham, there it happens. And the next thing you know, you're hitting the drag back and blowing your reel up. Seen that a million times, and I love it. It's great. Doesn't ever happen to me.
No.
Just saying to some people.
But yeah, we've been seeing some of these nice red grouper. And then, of course, like we were talking about, some mangroves, some hogfish. It's been a good bite near shore. But we did talk a lot about that 39-hour trip.
Wait, before we do that, let's talk about the hog fishing trip that we're going to do Tuesday.
Don't forget about it. I was going to forget already.
Now's a good time. So last Tuesday we went out and we were able to boat 35 hogfish, which was awesome.
I almost spit my drink out.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, and I really we had to do that because of the weather. I couldn't get past 50 feet. It was just so snotty out there. And but strangely, I think I only had 2 guys down, and everyone was fishing, and they were using those shrimp, and we were just pounding on them. And I just think that I wanted to do it again. I had so much fun doing it that I think this is the only all day that I'm running this week because Thursday is Thanksgiving. So
we're closed Thursday.
Yep.
Family day.
Family day. And so I'm going to go do, we're going to go specifically for hogfish on Tuesday. We've been on the 10 hours getting out some really deep water, 90 and, about 90 feet,
burning more fuel.
Plus or minus. But I won't be burning a lot of fuel on Tuesday. And we're going to get some extra fishing time in because the ride is going to be a little shorter.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to work out for everybody. And you're probably going to get more of the gray snappers. Not as many as we've been getting a lot of lanes and vermilions as our bycatch, But Tuesday it'll be more of the gray snappers, but they'll be nice ones. They'll be, the 1.5 pounders, the real decent ones.
The big old gray snappers.
And I'm going to go specifically for the hogfish. So, be there or be square.
Oh. Book now, too, because those spots do fill up quite a bit.
I think we're at like 40 people right now. So
those hogfish trips, man, they get popular.
Bring your spinning rods. And this actually right here, I love these things. If you use a spinning rod, guys, make sure you have some Top Shot on there. I would recommend about 30 pound.
4,000, 5,000 series spinning reel. You want 25 pound braid, and then at least 10 to 15 foot of, I would suggest 30 pound. You said what?
Pound? Yeah,
30 pound.
Yeah.
And I like using fluorocarbon. But at least 10 to 15 feet, maybe even 20 to 25 feet. And then your 4/0 hook, and you could use 3/4 ounce egg sinkers like we've got here, or you could use some 1 ounce egg sinkers. It kind of depends on what main line you're using. If you're running heavier mono, then you're going to have to use a little heavier lead. It's always a good idea to have a little bit of variety. That's your knocker rig setup. You could use 1 ounce naked ball jigs. You could use some large jig heads. Basically, those are your 3 setups: your knocker rig, your naked ball jig, or your just jig head. Yeah. Did I miss anything?
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Well, I do like the knocker rig. I really do like it. But I tell you, those ball jigs are really, really hot. And if you use them right,
so hot right now.
If you use them right, they're you have to get them to come up and pop down in the sand.
Yeah.
And or rock or whatever. You've got to see it hitting the bottom, and for some reason that's what triggers the bite. So if you're not doing that right, and we can show you if you have bought one and you have one in your box, or you end up picking one up in the morning, we can show you how to use them when you get out there.
And those naked ball jigs, the egg sinkers, the hooks, we have all this in the shop in the morning. Yeah. I'd be happy to walk you around, or Frank's happy to walk you around, show you what to get. But the naked ball jig designer, the owner, the inventor, he fished with us quite a bit, and his method was casting away from the boat, underhand casting, always underhand on a party boat, underhand casting away from the boat, and then once that lure hits the bottom, what he would do is he would just lift his wrist. You're not jerking the rod tip up, you're not lifting the rod tip up. You would just lift your wrist. You're essentially wanting to make that jig bounce
4 inches,
4 to 6 inches.
Not much.
And you're just bounce, let it sit for a minute, bounce, let it sit for a minute, bounce, and you're working it closer to the boat.
And it drives them nuts.
Yeah. So when you cast out away from the boat, the angle of the line is like this, and every time you lift your wrist, it's getting a little closer. It's getting a little, or I guess I got to go this way. Yeah. Camera's reversed. So basically, the angle of the lure to the bottom, every time you lift your wrist, it's going to work that lure closer to you until you're vertical. And then once you're vertical, you can reel it up and reset it, because most likely your shrimp is probably gone by then.
It's the angle of the dangle.
Angle of the dangle. It's the motion.
I will show you something else too.
Don't do this. Smokey said this crap too, and I don't buy it.
I totally buy it. I totally buy it. These red beads.
You put that on the knocker rig?
Yes.
It's such crap. That's such crap.
That's okay.
I would make fun of you if you did that, because it wouldn't make sense to me.
You have to put 5 beads on. No, just one's fine, 1 or 2, and I think it has something to do with the sound.
That's because the look of that and adding it makes no sense. But
I know
dampening the sound, maybe the lead hitting the hook of the knocker rig.
I think that it spaces the hook a little bit away from that egg sinker too.
Yeah,
and it just like
that I would buy,
just like the naked ball jig does, where it's the chain is separated from the hook, and I have put on 2 or 3 of these, believe it or not, before the hook. Like lead, 3/4 ounce. I know it's blowing your mind, but hey, I'm out there every day doing it, and you can try it, or you can not try it. It doesn't matter to me, but I'm just telling you.
What's that? That's $1.99 at the shop to see if Frank's full of crap.
It's only going to cost you $2 to see if I'm lying to you or not. Okay.
That's worth the gamble.
And if you don't like them, bring them up to the wheelhouse, drop them off. I'll give you $1.
All right. Well, we have made it to 300 live viewers, so someone is going to win a free 39-hour fishing trip tonight. But we are going to start out with a free 5-hour half day for 2 guests. So let's see who won a 5-hour half day for 2 people. And then after we do that, we still got to give away a 10-hour all day for 2 people, which you could use Tuesday if you want. And then later on, we're going to give away a 39-hour for 1. But you do have to be watching live, and if you do get picked as that lucky winner, you do have to text me your information within about 10 to 15 minutes to prove that you are watching live, because in order to win, you have to be watching live, and you do have to have commented on the Hubbard's Marina Facebook video at least 1 time. So that's how you win. That's how you enter to win. That's how you claim your prize. And when you text me, send me your home address so I can mail you the certificate, please. So let's see who won that free 5-hour half day for 2 people. 5-hour half day for 2 coming at you. Who's going to win? Amanda from Taylorville, Illinois. Amanda Alsbury. Thank you for watching, Amanda.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, and stay tuned to the rest of you guys, because there's still more trips coming at you, and we got some crazy 39-hour fish.
Yeah, I can't wait to see those photos.
Yeah, for sure. So let's look at that here real quick. And again, our main office number, so you can text me, Amanda, is 727-393-1947. That is our main office number. You can now text us at that number, or you can call us. Obviously, our office isn't open right now, so you can't call me now, but you can text me at that number. Those texts do go straight to our office crew and my cell phone, so keep that in mind, all you guys and gals watching out there. If you want to shoot me a text at any time, you can reach me through our main office number. So let's see that 39-hour catch. Let's see what it looked like.
Let's do it. Brian told me he was when he was going out that he was going to go hit this area that had some gags. So that's awesome.
Let's see if we can't make this happen. I'm going to try something unique. All right. I think I got it. Let's watch this thing.
Good morning, guys. Captain Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina with another 39-hour catch. Captain Brian,
Look at that.
Will, Jason just got in from a 39-hour trip. And
Yes, that is a lobster on top of the pile. It is a huge one, too. Most of the gags were on the bottom of the pile. They had a crazy gag catch, but we'll show you that in the video. So just sit back, relax, check out this short video.
Captain Brian, we got a big old pile of meat back here, including a nice big bonus of a huge
Did Justin
mighty
Perlow catch
lobster
it?
caught on hook
The
and
lobster
line.
knows some
Got
of
the
it.
big old gags
They can't
down
really
here
hear
towards
us
the
while the
bottom of
video's
pile.
playing.
It's a really
Our sound
good
isn't
weather
muted,
trip.
but they can't hear
Nice
us well.
gags, lots of big mangroves. Well, let's hear it from the man himself. How'd you do out there, Brian?
Yeah, we did all right, Dee. Well, the water's starting to cool down. The fish are getting crispy.
Yeah.
Pretty decent bite.
Yeah, it looks like you guys did pretty well on the gags, huh?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago we finished up on a couple of good little rocks, and I just decided to see how big they were, and we just worked the heck out of 8 stops in a half square mile.
Oh, wow.
Gags on every stop.
So the gag bite was really good at night, you said, huh?
From about 3 a.m. until the rest of the day, we caught groupers on every stop.
Oh, wow. So a steady grouper bite. You got a few red grouper in here, too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You got any scamps? I see a few
There's a
scamps.
handful of scamp, 3 or 4 yellowtails.
Big,
Nice.
big mangroves and nice gags are kind of the highlight, huh?
Yes.
With a few red grouper.
And then a bunch of heads and tails mixed in.
I think we had one crappy stop. We did 18 stops in 20 hours, and just had one bad stop.
That's not bad. That's not bad. How about those kingfish? Were those caught on the flat line, or were those
Got
caught
those
trolling?
on the ride out.
On the ride out. All right, all right. Some nice mangroves. What do you think the biggest mangrove was?
There's probably there might be a 8-pounder.
8
I
pound
don't think we
mangrove.
got a 10-pounder.
It looks like a lot of good size to them. Not many small ones, huh?
Yeah, it was real nice. It's the right time of the year.
The right time of the year for the big mangroves. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Brian.
Yes, sir.
Nice big old pile of fish.
Good.
Some nice gags, some nice grouper, good heads and tails. I was just scrambling to fix the sound. I know that sound was a little light to start, so I just scrambled, and I think you should hear the rest of the video better now. But I'm going to zoom to the end of the video where we show those gags a little better. So we're going to watch it a little longer. Nice stringers. Nice stringers of fish. How'd you do, Larry?
I got a 45-inch.
A 45-inch gag? What'd you get him on? Big pinfish? The big live bait got the big gag, huh?
I got broke off probably 5 or 6 times too. A big
Go ahead, Jason. You got broke off a couple times too?
probably 4 or
Of
5.
course.
What were you using when you got broke off? 100 pound?
80.
80 pound?
Yeah.
All right. So the big old gags were chewing.
Yep, there.
Man, some nice stringers.
Yeah, they're on the bottom, dude.
Yeah, all the gags. It's a beautiful gag. Larry, you want to hold this one up? That probably is yours right there. Is that your fish? Nice. Nice. That is a big old gag. Bob got some good photos of it?
Yes, sir.
Very cool. There's some more gags coming out of the pile.
There's some gags.
Holy moly. Gag. That's Larry's fish. Another nice one. That's even bigger. Nice. That's always nice to see some nice gags.
Yes, sir.
Wow. All right, we're back, Frank. We're back. Awesome. All right, so we're going to show you the photos now. The video showed you the whole pile, but these photos are just incredible. They had a really great 39-hour trip. Some big old gag grouper on the party boat, 39-hour fishing trip. This trip fishes 70 to 100 miles out. You get 20 hours of bottom fishing time. You get a 2-day bag limit. So it's basically 2 nights in a hotel that takes you 100 miles from shore, and it's only $369. So real good deal in my opinion. Plus you get that 2-day bag limit, so you're able to keep lots of fish, and they stroked them. And we've got lots more 39-hour trips coming up. We've got 39-hour trips coming up. We've got one November 29th is the last Friday trip in November. We've got one the first Friday in December, and we've got 3 Tuesday trips in December. We only got one Friday 39-hour in December, but we've got 3 Tuesday trips. Look at that gag.
That's a nice one.
That's a fatty. Joe from down southeast Florida came up to catch that big old gag. FWC was on the boat doing some tagging and research. They got a ton of samples. Look at that. Now, this photo was taken just around sunrise, so this was only maybe a third of the catch, and this wasn't even all the gags they had on the boat at the time.
That's a nice photo.
Yeah, they stroked them. Almost 40 grouper in all. I think the total number was around 35 to 38. I don't have an exact number. I didn't get a chance to check the fish log, but as you can see, we've got probably at least 20 to 25 photographed. So I'd say there was probably a lot more than that. Beautiful fish, though. There's that big one Larry caught. 45-inch gag. That is a beast.
That's a pretty one, yeah.
Beast. And a nice big old lobster.
I don't think that lobster would have made it home if I caught it and I was on the boat.
Wouldn't have been legal to eat it offshore,
Yeah,
Frank.
I was going to release him.
Release to the grease.
Yeah.
Some big old mangroves too. So nice gags, nice mangroves. It was a really good trip. So we're looking forward to much more of these gag grouper trips. Again, like I said, we've got 5 more 39 hours before December 31st. December 31st is when the season closes for gag grouper. And then January, February, March, April, we're going to be targeting those red grouper mangroves. We got great blackfin tuna action. So plenty of great fishing going on our 39-hour long-range trips. But I did want to talk about this guy real quick. These are the tags that FWC does. So I don't know if you guys can see that. We'll zoom in a little bit. This little yellow thing hanging out of this grouper is super important. So these FWC biologists, this guy right here, they go out fishing with us on these trips. And what they do is while they're out with us, they will measure the fish that we're throwing back, like red snapper, red grouper, gags that are not legal sized, or if they're out of season and we're releasing them. They'll measure them, they'll catalog them, and then they'll put that dart tag in there. So that little yellow thing sticking out is called a dart tag. And it's got a number on it. And that number corresponds to that fish. And what happens is when you catch anything in the Gulf with a dart tag, you got to write down that number. And you can contact FWC if you don't have the little postcards yourself, or you can go on their website. You can report the tag number, and yes, they'll send you a free t-shirt for it. But it's hugely important to our fisheries data collection. So please, if you catch a tagged fish, you must report it, because that gives the FWC biologists data on the survival rate of discarded fish. It shows them how far they travel. It shows their lifespan. It shows age and growth data. It adds a lot of important information to make our stock assessments more accurate. So it's hugely important that you report any tagged fish. It will tremendously help our fisheries data collection and our stock assessments.
Yeah, just take a photo of it with your phone, and just snap a
and
photo.
Don't pull the tag out. If you catch a tagged fish, if it's not legal, if you're discarding it, leave the tag in it. Just take a photo.
That's right. Take a photo of it and then take a measurement of it. That's all you got to do.
And approximate area. You need to record the hours, hours and minutes
within 1 mile. You know, which is basically degrees and minutes.
Yeah. So you don't need exact information. They don't they don't ask exactly where you caught it, but you have to report the general area that you caught that fish, and then you need to record its length. And like Frank said, the size. So make sure you record all that information and report that.
It is really important, guys. You got to do it.
Hugely important.
The one major thing, and Dylan already said it. They want to see how many live after they've been tagged, and then it affects the quota. And when they shut down and open seasons up, if they know that they're all living, everyone will throw them back in, because they take the time and tag just about every red grouper and red snapper that go back in the water from our boats and from private charters and whatnot.
And party boats all up and down the coast.
It's really important, guys, that I know it's sometimes that you might feel like it's a hassle, or who cares about a t-shirt. It's very helpful, and if they can see more of survival rate, they may leave the seasons open a little bit longer, guys. So keep that in mind. It's for the benefit of everybody.
Plus, it just gives them better data on age and growth and migration patterns and spawning patterns, and it really helps make our fisheries data more robust. So if you feel they don't have good data and you're throwing back fish that are tagged and not recording the data, you're part of the problem.
Part of the problem. That's right. I can't stop looking at that lobster, man. I'm a shellfish nut. In case
I'm hungry right now.
I know.
And we're back to food.
Yeah. Why don't they have a fast food? Oh, yeah, they have Long John Silver's. So we can go get some shrimps.
Dude, during Lent, Chick-fil-A has those fish sandwiches. Those are fire. If you haven't had one of those.
Oh, yeah. You could also get the Impossible Whoppers.
That makes me want to throw up.
Yeah, that's gross.
Impossible Whoppers. Anything that's not meat related.
Yeah,
Red meat,
that's-
pork, fish, chicken. I don't care. As long as it's meat, I'll eat it. If they try to make imitation meat, not about it. Not about that life. So let's give away a 10-hour all day for 2.
Yeah, use it tomorrow.
Yeah, and use it Tuesday. Tomorrow's Monday. But
They're all free tomorrow. All the 10-hour trips tomorrow, they're free.
so we're going to give away that 10-hour all day, and then we're going to answer some of your questions. If you've asked a question on YouTube, don't worry about it. We can see all your questions still. If you've asked a question on Facebook, we can only see like the most recent 75 comments or so. There's been 775 comments total, so I don't see all the questions on Facebook. So if you asked a question on Facebook, feel free to repeat your question, and we'll try to answer it live before the video ends. If I don't, I'll go back through the comments and answer them by typing them. So let's see who won a free 10-hour all day for 2 people. And then stay tuned because you could win that 39-hour trip for 1 person. So free 10-hour all day for 2.
For 2?
Yeah, 10-hour all day for 2.
Oh, I thought it was for 1.
No, it's for 2.
Dang, that's a heck of a deal.
Amy Bartolone, my boyfriend Bo Julian, and I are watching again from Hernando Beach. Thanks for the fantastic fishing info. Amy Bartolone from Hernando Beach. Congratulations.
That's awesome. You know they're happy right now for sure.
Yeah, you and your boyfriend are going fishing.
Boom.
Yeah. Or you could just save it and give it to him for Christmas. Free Christmas gifts.
Yeah, right?
I like that.
Oh, he's watching though too.
It's ruined.
Would have been great. Here, honey, I got you this.
You have to wait.
Where's my diamond?
All right, so let's get into these questions here. I know I wrote down some questions.
So somebody was asking about the lobster, what the deal was with that, and people that haven't been out there wouldn't know because it is a rare thing. It's just kind of like any crab that would feed on a piece of fish. Lobsters, they eat too. And what probably happened was somebody had a sardine sitting on the bottom, and that lobster went along and said, I'd like to eat that sardine right there. So he got on top of it, and, or maybe it went into his, little hole he was in, and it just snagged the lobster, and somebody reeled them in. And it has happened multiple times.
He actually thought he was rocked up.
We got 2 mantis shrimp on Thursday.
Oh, wow.
On the all-day
Mantis
boat.
shrimps are good eating,
and they were
too.
huge. I mean, they were over 12 inches for sure.
They're good eating too. So the guy who caught the lobster actually thought he was rocked up for a minute. That lobster must have grabbed his bait and dragged it into the rock and was sitting there munching on it. He thought he was rocked up, pulled up on it, and it released. This is a story I heard from Will, at least. And then he started cranking, and there was some dead weight. And luckily, he just kept cranking. And it's real important to do that because you could have a lobster on. You could have a big octopus. You could have a big octopus. Octopus are more common than lobster.
Yeah, for sure.
And so when you start cranking, you feel that dead weight, just steady crank. Don't slow down. Don't jerk. Don't stop. Just steady crank. And a lot of times you'll get that lobster or that octopus or whatever's hanging onto your bait up to the surface. And if you steady crank and when it breaks surface, just steady swing them onto the boat, you could get very lucky.
Yeah, it's like it's the odds have got to be like if you're reeling in a rock, it's probably 1,000 to 1 that it's a lobster over a rock. But when you catch 8 to 10 rocks a day, it's bound to happen. It is bound to happen, and so it was cool. I mean that's the greatest bonus if you go on the overnighter. If you come back with a lobster, I mean you could come back.
I think he
6 months later.
He commented earlier it was a 5.53 pound lobster. That's huge.
That's awesome.
That's like $70 at Salt Rock Grill.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So Gabriel Grissom said, "Dude, those white Costas are cool." I don't agree with him, but hey, that's me. I like my all black Costas. I broke them today.
But you're not as cool as me.
All right, we got another question.
His glasses are so ugly they break.
Well, I had scratched them because I'm tall and I hit my head on things, so I had scratched them.
Is that a short joke?
That is a short joke.
Yeah, I heard
You're
the
short.
dig.
People know this. You got the taller chair.
Yeah. You can see the backs. Mine's pumped up.
So I had scratched my costas, and I was playing with my little cousins, Garrett's kids, and they fell off my head, and unfortunately a scratch made them shatter. But
Thankfully,
I got another pair.
And $12. Get you another pair of them. But
And we have a ton of them at Hubbard's Marina.
Yeah.
Huge selection of costas in our shop, so was able to get another pair pretty quickly.
yeah,
Keep them on deck.
that must be nice.
Yeah, well, I had to pay for them.
Yeah, that's true.
Dan the Fishman said, any word on the extension of the North Jetty at Johns Pass? Unfortunately, right now, that's kind of in a stalemate. We really have a huge problem in Johns Pass with sand encroaching into the pass. It's totally ruined the fishing in our little area around our dock because now it's super, super shallow and sandy. We have a huge beach that blocks part of our dock, and it really creates a huge burden on us. But also, it's a big problem for everybody because the sandbar keeps crouching south, and it's a big, huge problem. So what needs to happen is the city of Madeira Beach and the county coastal coordinators need to put groins that run perpendicular to the beach along Madeira Beach that catches that sand, and then they need to lengthen the North Jetty of Johns Pass.
That's how I feel about it too.
By 100 yards, 200 yards, 300 yards, even a freaking mile would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because that jetty would create the biggest artificial reef
It would
system
be awesome, yeah.
that would bring the most bad to the bone snook, redfish, trout,
Oh my God.
sheep's head, pompano, sharks, kingfish, mackerel.
I feel like a half a mile jetty off of there
Yeah.
would be cheaper than the dredging.
Yeah,
I
a
mean,
lot cheaper.
it's just like, moving a barge out there, dumping rocks. I mean, just
Yeah.
keep going. Man, it'd be awesome.
in Galveston, Texas,
I've been there.
their jetty system runs 4 miles,
Yeah.
and it's like 60 foot deep of just rock pile, and it's the best fishing. I mean, they
pretty
literally have party boats that do nothing but fish those jetties because that's how good the fishing is. So if we lengthen North Jetty of Johns Pass to stop that encroaching sand, Johns Pass would be deeper, fishing would be better. You'd have a longer jetty with better fishing. So reach out to City of Madeira Beach. Reach out to the Pinellas County Coastal Coordinator. You can Google it, find his contact information, and help us beg for a longer North Jetty. That would save me a lot of sleepless nights. All right, let's see here. What other questions do we have? I know we had one question about renting. Tackle on these 10-hour trips. Do we provide spinning reels? Unfortunately, no. If you rent a rod and reel, we provide you with a conventional rod and reel that works well for a little bit of everything. Those spinning rods and reels and the specialty tackle for those hogfish, you got to bring it yourself. Or we have some options inside our shop. Before you go, you can get set up with a spinning rod and reel in the shop. And we have some nice spinning rods and reels, anywhere from $75 to $180 to $350. Yeah, so you have
some nice ones, yeah.
You have a nice long option. You can go cheap, you could go mid-range, you could go really, really nice, and get set up.
Yeah, if you are coming just for the hogfish and you are bringing just your rod and reel, again, we have the tackle for it. It'd be probably, if you just have the spinning rods and that's all you're planning on doing is hog fishing, then you can get away with just about the same amount of money spent on the tackle. And again, we can show you what that is in the morning. Just find Dylan or myself or one of the crew, and they'll know what to set you up with for the spinning rods, and so.
Nice.
But if you do rent the conventional rods from us, they work just as well. It's if you're not used to a particular rod and reel, we are set up for those hogfish, or exactly what we need to be set up for. They're not going to be knocker rigged, but they are going to be Carolina rigged, and they work very well for them. So if you don't have your own rod and reel, don't sweat it. You can still come out there and still have a good time and catch a bunch of fish, with it.
Yeah, you never know. Glenn Rudolph said, what are your thoughts about the cold fronts? Unfortunately, cold fronts are kind of unpredictable. You never really know when they're going to come. But on our website, we make it real easy for you to check on those cold fronts. You go to hubbardsmarina.com. On our website, you can go to fishing trips, scroll down to the weather links page. On our weather links page, you have all the powerful weather tools that we use. My favorite is the wind finder forecast. I typically look at the 5 or 10 hour forecast area to start, and you can see a nice little graph at the top of the page that shows you where or when that front's going to come. So you can see where the wind spikes up. Right now it looks like December 1st we're going to get a little breeze, and then Monday we get even more of a breeze.
But that can change. Don't not
that changes
book or
a lot.
And don't change. If you're booked for say Monday, December 2nd, don't cancel right now because of what that shows right now.
Yeah.
That can change.
I only look about 3 to 4 days out. So if I was checking the weather for our trips, I wouldn't look past like November 26th, 27th. Because I go up here to super forecast and I click that super forecast, and this is as far as I trust. And even right now, if it said that Tuesday didn't look good, I still wouldn't completely cancel a trip or change my plans based on this yet. Really only about 48 hours out do you really start to feel kind of confident in the weather. So definitely be careful about changing plans based on advanced forecasts. Also on our website, when you're at hubbardsmarina.com, if you're looking for something and you can't find it, we've got this little spyglass over here. You can click on this. This is a new feature, and all you have to do is type in what you're looking for. So you can just type in weather into the search bar, and that's going to pull up your weather links page as well. So we've added a new search bar.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's real nice.
Yeah,
Makes
because
life
before it was under fishing trips, and unless you knew to go under fishing trips and then look for weather, you didn't know it. So that makes it super easy to pop into the weather links, and I do use the wind finder also. That's what Dylan and I usually confer on. Also, sometimes we'll look at the sea buoys with NOAA. Is that what the NOAA sea buoy page, the weather buoy page, and we look at the Whistler buoy there at the opening of the Tampa Bay Channel, and which is about 16 miles.
It's about 16 miles from John's Pass. It's about 10 to 12 miles from shore.
Right. So we use that and the wind finder to kind of decide what we're going to do for the day.
Yeah. So let's see, what other questions do we have here? On the 39-hour trip, should I use 60-pound test at night for mangrove snapper going out December 3rd? That's a great question. Typically for mangrove snapper on a 39-hour trip, I'd be using like 40 or 50-pound test. But this time of year, with those gag grouper biting so well, on this past 39-hour, they caught a lot of gags at night. So I typically recommend starting with 60-pound tests for the mangroves and like 6/0 hooks. And then if the bite's slow, I'm struggling to catch mangroves, I might back it down to 40 or 50-pound with 5/0 hooks. But start big with heavier tackle, and if you're catching mangroves, stick with it, because using that 60-pound test gives you a shot. If you hook one of those gags, you got a shot to land them. So definitely, I think heavier tackle works. You can catch them.
It is to each their own on that, and I do agree with what you just said with the 60-pound. It's you can absolutely get those mangoes on the 60-pound, but I do recommend that you make sure you have some laser sharp hooks.
Yeah.
I do recommend those. It's just something similar to this.
Circle hooks.
Not necessarily. I'd even go a size bigger.
They're needle points.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for, those super needle points.
Yeah.
Circle hook, super needle points is what you're looking
needle
for.
point. When those mangoes bite, if you ever see a video, maybe check out a video of how they actually feed, and they crush up those sardines in their mouth first and snap them up. And when the little needle, that needle point that it says on there, super needle point, when they hit that, it's in there. And remember, if you were watching last week too, we did the double snell rig. That's kind of how you hold those plugs on, they call it. You'll get that. Make sure you have the hooks. See your crew on the boat on the way out, and they're definitely gonna give their advice too. Will and whoever he's working with that particular trip, Jason or whomever will
Yeah.
definitely help you out.
They do a seminar on the
time.
ride out, and they talk a lot about how to rig those double snell rigs. And again, circle hooks is what you want to use offshore. That's just what we happen to have on the counter last week when Kylie was showing us how to do a double snell rig.
Hi, Kylie. She wanted me to give her a shout out.
Shout out to Kylie.
Yeah.
All right, another question. I was wondering how the fishing in May, the early part of the year, is. Typically, in the springtime, we have really great fishing. Triggerfish open up March 1st. We're looking forward to that. We have great red grouper action, lots of big mangroves. We see some yellowtail. Kingfish are around. We're still catching plenty of blackfin tuna. Hogfish bites going well.
For sure.
A lot of good stuff going on through the spring. So great time to get out there for sure.
Yeah, the gags are closed unfortunately, and the that'll be just before the red snapper open again next year. So other than those two fish, everything should be open in May. Besides that, jacks, right?
In May, jacks should be open. Jacks are supposed to be open May.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, they're supposed to be open May, August, September, and October. But this year, they didn't open that May season. They just opened August, September, and October. And most likely this coming year, 2020, we probably won't see that May season open again. So it'll probably just be September, October, November for those gags, possibly even
That's
shorter
like the
than
one
that.
fish that they need to figure something out with the regulation on that, because
Yeah.
they're so man.
Well, we are
15 years ago they were everywhere.
Yeah, we are definitely fighting real hard
Yeah.
right now at the council level about amberjack. The big problem with amberjack is they're in a rebuilding plan. So now there's more and more amberjack. We're catching them faster. The seasons are closing even more because the quota gets hit. And the council, due to MSA, they have to end overfishing. And they have to have these ACLs, or allowable catch limits. And when those ACLs are hit, there's accountability measures in place. So long story short, the fishery's rebounding. We're catching a lot of fish, and their hands are tied. They can't open the seasons and open the quota as much as they would like. So long story short, we're trying to work with what we got for a few years. So amberjack seasons are not going to be pretty for the next few years, but hopefully
for a
leaving a
reason.
lot of fish out there in the water going to help those fish bounce back. We're starting an amberjack stock assessment at the end of this year. I have a data scoping call coming up, I think, end of November. So once that stock assessment is done for amberjacks by the end of next year, they should hopefully have a little bit of good information.
Cool.
But they've been changing the size limit and the bag limit and the seasons for amberjacks
A
so
34-inch
much.
34-inch amberjack is pretty darn big, man. You
And
know,
they just changed the size limit. They just changed the bag limit recently. They just changed the season. Then they changed the fishing year. So all these changes make those stock assessments really hard to do, because you can't compare apples to oranges. You're comparing apples to oranges to watermelons to cantaloupes to jackfruits. And it's
food.
yeah, and it makes
You're
it
comparing
difficult.
it to food.
So hopefully we can leave amberjack regulations alone. We can get this stock assessment going, and after a few years, we should be able to be back to a good place
And have a sandwich.
and have a sandwich or
Amberjack
smoked amberjack fish bread.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. So another question I saw were, what trips are you offering this coming Friday? I'm not going shopping. This coming Friday is Black Friday. We have crazy deals ourselves. We are selling our Daiwa Saltiga 2-speeds and Daiwa Saltis 2-speeds so cheap. I can't even tell you the price right now because it's that cheap. I'm scared we might get in trouble.
You got to tell them.
It is literally, the wholesale price is here. The price that we're retailing them for is here. It is the best price you're going to find on a Saltiga or Daiwa reel.
There it is. So if you are looking to go
Hands
buy
down.
one, it's going to be worth your time to
But
shoot down.
it's a Black Friday deal, so those deals aren't going to come out till Black Friday, and I've got a limited amount of those reels in the shop, so I could blow out of them quick. So come down and see us Black Friday for those crazy deals. We got some other deals on tackle and
you can
apparel
set
and
up a tent
souvenirs.
out front Thursday night if you'd like.
Please don't.
Please don't.
And we're going to have our special Black Friday deal on those gift certificates. That's 20% off gift certificates. So you can get up to $1,000 for only $800. So
Yeah, that's, I mean...
that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
But they do expire after 12 months. Those expiration dates are real strict, so keep that in mind when you're buying a bunch of gift certificates. But you can burn up $1,000 gift certificate pretty quick.
Especially if you're doing overnighters. Yeah,
Yeah, or
so that's
12-hour
basically
streams.
an extra 20% off an overnighter if you purchase that ahead of time. So
Yeah, so pay attention Black Friday. You can't get any of these deals until Black Friday. We'll be announcing them on our Facebook page, on our email newsletter, so hopefully you're signed up for that. Definitely some cool stuff coming up Black Friday. Let's see what else we got here.
Did somebody say something about a drone?
Yeah, we're running out of time, we're already 9 minutes over, so I'm going to have to go back through and answer some more questions via typing. The 2020 specialty trip schedule. If you want to book a 39-hour trip, a 44-hour trip, a 12-hour trip for next year, 2020, December 2nd. So not tomorrow, next Monday. So not tomorrow, but the Monday after, December 2nd at 11 a.m. Those floodgates are going to open. You can book online. You can call us and book over the phone. December 2nd, 11 a.m., our 2020 schedule is being released. You can book 5 and 10-hour trips for next year now, but those specialty trips are closed. They're hidden. We just got them built, but you can't find out any dates. You can't book any trips until December 2nd at 11 a.m. So stay tuned for that. Let's see here. What else do we need to talk about? Black Friday is going to be crazy. Those deals are only going to run a short amount of time, so see us Black Friday. Kingfish biting well, hogfish biting well, gags are biting crazy. Also, don't forget about our special Salt Strong deal that Joe Simons gave us. Another Black Friday basically special. If you buy one of our courses, you get 2 more courses absolutely free. So you get 3 of our mastery courses from Salt Strong and a whole year of Salt Strong membership absolutely free at that link I just posted. So that again is only $97. You get 3 mastery courses from Hubbard's Marina and Salt Strong, and then a free year of membership to Salt Strong. If you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out, and it's a really crazy good deal. So check that link out that I just posted in the comments. You don't want to miss out. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's Thursday.
I was going to make sure we did. Happy Thanksgiving to
We're excited.
Everybody that's watching and all the people that are going to be watching this.
I'm going to eat half a turkey.
Yeah. I'll be napping for sure on Thursday. You know what I won't be doing Friday?
Not fishing Thursday.
I won't be shopping for Black Friday either.
I will be helping people shop in our store.
You'll be there.
So definitely check out Black Friday. But yes, Thursday we are completely closed. And keep in mind, if you want to go fishing with us or dolphin watching or whatever you want to do on the water with us, book early, because that holiday weekend after Thanksgiving is going to be busy.
Yeah, I think Friday we're already
Oh no, Friday we don't have a 39-hour until 3 o'clock. So we got plenty of room Friday. We're gonna run AM and PM trips.
Double boats in the morning and probably a single PM. Probably.
Yeah, we're gonna have 120 people going half day
super
fishing
busy.
Friday
So if you do want to get on with us, make sure you book as quick as you can, really.
All right, I think I covered everything. Don't forget, Friday morning, 8:15, Fox 13 News. Hopefully we'll see you next week, this coming Sunday at 8:30 for another live show. And let's see who won that free trip.
39-hour, here we go.
Oh, one quick question. Can you get those Black Friday deals online? You can't get the Black Friday tackle and the Black Friday souvenirs. You can't get those type of deals. Those are in the shop only. But you can get the 20% off gift certificates online. So you don't have to be in the shop to get those special gift certificate deals. But you can get them online as well, or in the shop. There's no Black Friday fishing trip specials. We're giving 20% off gift certificates. So you could buy a gift certificate for a trip at 20% off and use it towards a trip. which essentially makes any trip that you want 20% off. So we are technically running trip specials for Black Friday, but it's just a roundabout way. But all that to say, let's see who won a free 39-hour trip. Because I got to go see my son before he goes to bed.
And I'm going to go get a sandwich from Popeyes. No, I don't.
Ooh. Have you tried one of those Popeye sandwiches?
I haven't.
Dang.
I went there to do it one time, and the line was like around the building. I was like, no, I'm sorry.
I'm going to Chick-fil-A.
I mean, I love chicken, but, yeah.
That's funny.
I have been to Joe Ellis Hot Chicken, and that's
fire.
awesome.
Did you try
I
the
thought you were about
Parmesan
to say
garlic
something
fries? Yeah, I almost did.
Yeah.
Those Parmesan garlic fries.
Yeah.
Woo.
I didn't feel anorexic when I left there. All right, start this thing out.
All right, 39-hour trip. Remember, if you're a lucky winner, you do have to text me at 727-393-1947 within 10 minutes to prove that you were watching live. So let's see who won that 39-hour fishing trip. One person free 39-hour winner is Daniel Mercer.
Danielle.
I think that's Daniel.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's kind of funny, though, because Daniel Mercer was also the lucky winner from our Veterans Day 39-hour trip. So I owe this cat 2 free 39-hour trips.
Well, there was a guy that was just on the overnighter that went out Friday. He told me that he was on his free one. The guy with the red?
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah. And that was his second one he won watching the show.
Yeah, man. You got to watch his show. Yeah. You can win big.
This is their second one?
Well, no, Daniel Mercer. I don't know if this is the same person,
okay.
But Daniel Mercer won our special Veterans Day giveaway. So I don't know if this is the same person. Maybe he added an E on Facebook, or maybe it is Danielle. Maybe it's his wife.
I don't know.
Who knows? We're going to find out. Text us. And don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. All right, guys. We'll see you soon at Hubbard's Marina. Hopefully, you'll join him Tuesday for that special 10-hour. Hopefully, you'll see us Friday for all our crazy Black Friday deals. You don't want to miss out. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching tonight, guys.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, go eat lots of food.
Send us pictures.
Send us pictures.